Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. This time we're diving into a real classic,
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah.
We're working with a 2014 paperback edition, the one with the updated cover art.
The updated cover.
Yes.
Okay.
So whether you're like a seasoned witch or wizard, or maybe this is your first time going to Platform 9 through Quarter 1,
Right.
this deep dive should have a little something to something for everyone.
Yeah, I think so.
But even before we crack this thing open, it's worth pointing out that J.K. Rowling actually wrote a lot of this book in cafes
Oh, wow.
while she was dealing with being a single mother.
Really?
Yeah, so that's
That's pretty amazing.
kind of cool.
Yeah. Talk about perseverance.
For sure, for sure.
And dedication to your
Yeah.
craft.
And it just goes to show you that even the most like magical journeys, they can start from the most ordinary places.
Right.
Like a cafe.
Yeah, exactly.
But this book, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, I mean, this thing was published back in 97.
Yeah.
So it's been over 25 years.
Gosh, can't you believe it?
I can't believe it.
It's been that long.
And it's really become this huge cultural phenomenon, right? I mean,
Yeah.
we got the books, we got the movies, we got the theme parks, the conventions. Like,
It's a whole world.
it's a whole world in and of itself.
Yeah.
And I think it's really interesting that a children's novel
Mm-hmm.
could actually capture the imaginations of millions of people across generations and cultures.
It is fascinating, isn't it?
It really is.
It makes you wonder, what is it about this book that has that kind of universal appeal?
What is it? What is it?
Yeah.
We're going to get to the bottom of that.
We're going to get to the bottom of that.
Okay.
Well, the story, of course, starts with young Harry.
Yes.
And he's stuck in that dreary life with the Dursleys.
The Dursleys.
The Dursleys.
Not the most hospitable people.
No.
No.
I mean, I think anyone who's ever felt like an outsider can really relate to his situation. You
Right.
know?
Living under the stairs, being treated like, an unwelcome guest in your own home.
Right, like you don't belong.
Yeah, you don't belong.
And I think that feeling of being different, of not quite fitting in, it's something so many of us experience, especially when we're young.
Especially when you're young, yeah.
When you're trying to figure out who you are and where you fit in the world.
Totally. And then, of course, you have that huge shift
Yeah.
when Harry gets his Hogwarts letter.
A Hogwarts letter.
I mean, talk about a life-changing delivery.
Talk about a life-changing delivery.
It really is.
It's a brilliant way to introduce this magical world, don't you think?
I do.
1 minute he's wearing Dudley's hand-me-downs.
I know.
The next he's discovering Diagon Alley and a whole hidden society.
I know. And imagine being in Harry's shoes like you're stepping into that bustling magical marketplace.
For the first time.
For the first time.
Wow.
You can get anything.
I mean, the sights, the sounds, the smells, it's overwhelming.
It's got to be.
But in the best possible way.
In the best possible way.
It's just pure magic.
Pure magic. And you know what? It's all thanks to J.K. Rowling and her remarkable world-building skill.
Absolutely.
I mean,
It's incredible how she doesn't just tell you about these fantastical places.
yeah.
She really immerses you in them. You can practically smell the cauldron fumes,
Yeah.
hear the goblins clinking coins and gringotts.
I know. It's
Like, you're really there.
it's so real.
And it's not just the visuals. She's really thought about everything.
Yeah.
From the history of magic to the intricacies of wand lore.
Oh, I love the wands.
The wands are cool.
I know. It's just, it's
Yeah.
the details, that make it feel so real.
Right.
So believable.
So believable. Yeah.
And then after Diagon Alley, we have the Hogwarts Express.
Oh, the Hogwarts Express.
And this is more than just a train ride.
Right.
This is like a symbolic journey into this world of possibilities.
It's like a rite of passage.
Totally. And it's where Harry makes those first friendships
Yes.
that are going to shape his whole journey.
Absolutely. I mean, can you imagine the story without that scene where Harry and Ron meet over that box of Bertie Bott's every flavor beans?
No, I can't.
It's so iconic.
It's so iconic.
And it really highlights a key theme that runs throughout the entire series.
What's that?
The importance of connection and belonging.
Oh, that's a good one.
Even in this world of magic and wonder, it's the human relationships that ground the story. And I think that's why it resonates with so many people.
I think so, too.
We all crave connection.
Yeah, we do. We do.
And then speaking of Hogwarts itself,
Oh, Hogwarts.
but the castle plays such a significant role.
I know.
It really does.
It really does.
It's like its own character.
Totally. I mean, Rowling has really created this space that feels as alive and as magical as the characters who live there.
Absolutely.
I mean, the moving staircases,
Oh, yeah.
the enchanted ceiling in the Great Hall,
Oh, yeah.
the secret passages, the hidden rooms. I mean,
It's like a labyrinth.
Hogwarts is practically a character in itself.
Absolutely.
It is.
It's more than just a setting. It's a symbol of possibility and potential. It's a place where the ordinary becomes extraordinary.
I love that.
You know, a place where anyone, even an orphan boy from Privet Drive, can find their place and discover their true self.
Oh, I love that.
It's beautiful.
It is. Okay, so now let's dive into the heart of the story.
Okay.
The plot really revolves around Harry discovering that he is the boy who lived.
Right.
And his quest to protect the Philosopher's Stone from he who must not be named.
Voldemort.
Voldemort, yes.
Yeah, it's right.
And it's really a classic hero's journey.
It is a classic hero's journey.
Full of challenges and trials and, of course, a confrontation with evil.
Right.
But what makes it so compelling is that it's not just about defeating the villain. It's also about self-discovery.
Right.
Finding your place in the world.
Yes.
And the power of love and friendship when you're facing adversity.
It's about the bonds we form and how they help us overcome even the toughest challenges.
Exactly. And, of course, we can't forget about the villains. Draco Malfoy, for example.
Yes.
He's introduced pretty early on as Harry's rival.
Right.
Embodying those themes of privilege and prejudice that unfortunately exist even in the magical world.
It's true, unfortunately.
It is. It is.
But you know what's interesting about Draco is that he's not just this one-dimensional bad guy.
Really?
He's a product of his upbringing.
Right.
Of this pure-blood elitism that's so ingrained in his family.
Yeah.
So his choices, even though they're often misguided, they stem from this place of insecurity and fear.
Oh, that's interesting.
Which I think makes him a much more complex and intriguing character.
More than just a simple villain.
Exactly.
I like that.
You know?
Yeah. And I think that complexity is one of the reasons why these characters, whether they're the heroes or the villains, they feel so real.
Right.
So relatable.
They feel human.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Because they are flawed.
Yeah.
They make mistakes.
Yeah.
They struggle.
They're not perfect.
They're not perfect.
No, and that makes them all the more engaging.
I agree.
And speaking of memorable characters, I think Harry's journey really resonates with people because it speaks to that universal desire to find your place.
Yes.
You know, to be brave in the face of the unknown.
Absolutely. It's like that classic hero's journey we were talking about.
Yeah.
You know, Harry is kind of like an everyman hero thrust into these extraordinary circumstances.
Right.
He's not inherently powerful or gifted. He's just a boy trying to do what he thinks is right. And I think that's something we can all connect with, that idea that we have the potential for courage and greatness within us, no matter where we come from or what our background is.
Yeah.
It's inspiring.
It is. It is.
And it's a message of hope.
A message of hope.
Which is, I think, what makes this book so appealing, even for people who might not normally read fantasy.
Right.
It's about the human spirit and the power of believing in yourself.
I love that. And, of course, we also have Hermione.
Hermione.
Who challenges stereotypes.
Oh, absolutely.
About female characters in fantasy.
Yeah.
I mean, she proves that intelligence and strategy, they can be just as heroic as physical strength.
For sure.
And you can really see how her character might inspire young readers, especially young girls, to embrace their intelligence.
Absolutely.
And use their knowledge to make a difference.
She's a fantastic role model.
She is.
You know, she's not afraid to be smart, to challenge assumptions, and to stand up for what she believes in.
Yeah. And she shows us that knowledge is power.
Yes.
And it's a power that's available to anyone who's willing to work for it.
Exactly.
Love that.
And then you've got Ron, the loyal friend, who brings a sense of humor and heart to the trio.
Oh, he's so funny.
He is.
He's the comic relief.
He is.
He's the one with all the funny lines.
Yeah. And he might not be the bravest or the brightest, but his loyalty and his emotional intelligence are so vital to their success.
He's like the glue.
He's the glue that holds the group together.
Yeah.
And I think he reminds us that even the chosen one, even the boy who lived, needs a solid support system.
Yeah.
You know, a place where he can just be himself, flaws and all.
Totally.
Yeah.
I also think it's interesting that Ron is the one who struggles the most with feelings of inadequacy.
Yeah, that's true.
He's got all these overachieving siblings.
Right.
And his best friend is literally destined for greatness.
The boy who lived.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No pressure.
So it makes sense that he would feel a little insecure.
It does.
But, you know, his insecurities and his moments of doubt,
Yeah.
they make him so relatable.
They do. They make him human.
Yeah.
And it's that vulnerability that makes his moments of courage all the more meaningful. He constantly challenges himself to overcome his fears and to stand by his friends even when it terrifies him.
That's a true friend.
That's a true friend.
And speaking of terrifying...
Oh, boy.
Let's talk about Professor Snape.
Snape.
Professor Snape.
Mysterious Snape.
He's introduced as this stern, unapproachable figure.
Yeah. Always shrouded in mystery.
Always.
And even in this first book, Rowling really plants those seeds of doubt.
She does.
About his true allegiance.
Yeah, you never really know where you stand with Snape.
No, you don't.
Is he good? Is he bad? What's his deal?
What's his deal? It really makes you question those first impressions.
Yeah.
The assumptions we make about people based on how they look on the outside.
Right.
And I think Snape is really a masterclass in character development.
He is.
I mean, his motivations, they stay kind of ambiguous throughout the book.
Right.
But there are these subtle hints, fleeting expressions that make you wonder about his true nature.
Yeah, like she's giving us little breadcrumbs.
Little clues. Little clues.
Just follow.
Yeah, and Rowling's use of foreshadowing is brilliant.
Oh, it's masterful.
It keeps you guessing.
Yeah.
It makes you want to delve deeper.
It makes you want to keep reading.
Yeah.
To find out what happens.
And I think that's one of the reasons why people keep coming back to this series.
Yeah.
Even after they've read it multiple times.
Yeah.
It's like they're looking for those hidden clues.
Right.
Those little details that they might miss the first time around.
It's like a literary treasure hunt.
It really is.
And it speaks to the depth and complexity of Rowling's writing.
Totally.
She's not just telling a story.
Yeah.
She's inviting you to actively participate in unraveling its mysteries.
I love that.
It's an amazing experience.
It is. And, well, you know what?
What?
We've covered a lot of ground so far in this deep dive of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
We have.
We've explored the world of Hogwarts.
The characters.
The themes.
Yeah.
But we've only just scratched the surface.
We've only just begun.
There's so much more to unpack in this magical masterpiece.
So much more. Welcome back, listeners. I hope you had a chance to think about your favorite moments from Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah. While everyone's doing that, I'd love to go back to something you said earlier.
Okay.
About escapism. What is it about this world in particular that draws readers in so completely?
Well, I think for a lot of people, it's the level of detail that Rowling created.
Okay.
It's not just that Hogwarts exists.
Right.
She's built its history, its magical systems, even like the quirks of the ghosts.
Yeah.
And, the food in the Great Hall.
I know.
Every little detail is carefully thought out.
Yeah.
And it makes it feel so real.
It really does. It feels like a world you can get lost in, like with its own rules and logic.
Yeah.
Even if those rules involve talking portraits and chocolate frogs that jump.
Exactly. It's also whimsical and enchanting.
Yeah, it is. And I think a good example of that is the Weasley twins' joke shop.
Oh, yeah.
It's not essential to the main plot or anything.
Yeah.
But it just adds this layer of humor and fun to the wizarding world.
It does.
And it also tells us something about the Weasleys themselves, right?
Exactly. It shows us their creativity, their sense of humor.
Their rebellious streak.
Yeah,
they don't always follow the rules.
No, they don't. And I think that's something that a lot of readers can relate to.
I think so, too.
That desire to break free from convention.
Totally. So we've talked about the world building, the characters, the themes, but let's kind of zoom out for a second here.
Okay.
Why do you think this book and the series as a whole has had such a lasting impact on our culture?
That's a great question.
It is. It is.
And I think the timing of its release definitely played a role.
Okay. How so?
Well, the first book came out in 1997.
Right.
Which was right around the time that the internet was starting to connect people in new ways.
Right.
So it kind of created this global community, this shared experience for readers who could discuss theories, share fan art, and just celebrate their love for this world all online.
I love that.
Yeah. And it was really one of those early online fandoms that helped shape the way we connect with stories today.
I think so, for sure.
But beyond that, I think the books offer something that's become increasingly rare.
What's that?
A sense of wonder, a belief in something bigger than ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like stepping into a world where magic is real, where good triumphs over evil, and where even ordinary individuals can make a difference.
Yeah, it offers that sense of hope that I think a lot of us are looking for
Especially in challenging times.
Especially in challenging times.
Yeah, it's like an escape, a comforting space where we can reconnect with those feelings of childhood wonder and just believe that anything is possible.
Yeah, I love that. But, it's not just about the escapism.
Right.
It's also about Rowling's storytelling. Her writing is so engaging, the characters are relatable.
Yeah.
And the plots are both exciting and emotionally resonant.
It's a powerful combination.
And I think it's the way that she weaves these really complex themes. Like good versus evil, love and loss, friendship and betrayal, into this story that's ultimately about the power of love and courage.
Yes. She doesn't shy away from those darker aspects of life.
Right.
But there's always that glimmer of hope,
Yeah.
that reminder that even in the darkest of times, love and courage can prevail.
And that's such an important message, especially for younger readers.
Absolutely.
Who are just starting to understand the complexities of the world.
Yeah, it gives them a framework for understanding those challenges. It gives them a sense that even when they're afraid or facing adversity, they have the strength to overcome it.
It also encourages empathy.
Oh, for sure.
Think about how Harry learns to see beyond Snape's gruff exterior.
Right.
To recognize the pain and loss that shaped him.
Yeah. It's a powerful lesson in looking beyond those surface appearances.
Yeah.
And seeing the humanity in everyone.
I agree.
Even those who seem different or unapproachable.
Especially in today's world.
Yeah.
Where it's so easy to judge people.
Right. To make those snap judgments.
Yeah. And demonize anyone who disagrees with us.
Yeah. Harry Potter encourages us to look deeper, to understand the complexities of human motivation. And to recognize that even people who seem like villains often have their own stories of pain and loss.
I love that. And, speaking of stories.
Yes.
Let's not forget about the incredible power of imagination that Harry Potter has unleashed.
It was amazing.
All the fan fiction, fan art music plays.
It's incredible.
All these creative works that this series has inspired.
Yeah, it's a testament to the power of storytelling. To ignite the imagination and inspire creativity in others.
It's like Rowling gave readers the tools and the building blocks to create their own magic.
Exactly.
To expand the world of Harry Potter.
It speaks to that universal human need to create.
To connect.
Yeah, to share our stories with each other.
And it shows us that stories have the power to transcend boundaries, to bridge cultures.
Yeah.
To bring people together.
To bring people together.
So we've talked about the world, the characters, the themes, the cultural impact.
It's a lot.
It is. But before we wrap up, I'm curious. What about Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone has really stayed with you after all these years?
Well, for me, I think it's that sense of possibility.
Okay.
That reminder that magic exists. Not just in the literal sense, but in those everyday moments of wonder and connection that we often take for granted.
I love that it's like carrying a little spark of enchantment with you.
Yes.
A reminder to embrace the extraordinary, even in the ordinary.
Exactly. It's a spark we could all benefit from nurturing.
Absolutely. Well said. And, there's so much more we could discuss about this book.
Yeah.
So many fascinating layers to explore.
Definitely.
But before we wrap up this deep dive into Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, let's take a moment to gather our thoughts and reflect on everything we've discovered. All right, deep divers, welcome back.
Back for more magic.
For more magic.
That's right.
We've made it all the way from that dreary Privet Drive
to Hogwarts.
We explored Diagon Alley. We went through the grandeur of Hogwarts. We even kind of looked into Snape a little bit.
The mysteries of Snape.
Yeah. What a journey it's been.
It's been quite a ride.
It really has been. And, we've talked about all these great themes in Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
Oh, yeah.
Like friendship and courage and the power of choice.
Big ones.
Really big ones.
Yeah.
It's no wonder this book is still so popular.
It's timeless.
It's timeless.
Yeah.
But before we close the book on this deep dive, I want to kind of bring it back to you, listener.
Yeah, to the listeners.
What about Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone has really stood out to you?
What's resonated with you?
Yeah. Maybe you're remembering that first time you read this book.
Oh, yeah.
The way it made you feel.
Like you were transported to another world.
To another world.
Yeah.
Maybe you're thinking about the themes that are speaking to you right now.
Yeah. What feels relevant to your life at this moment.
Or maybe it's that feeling of belonging. Like Harry finds with Ron and Hermione.
Oh, yeah.
Finding your tribe, your people.
That sense of community is so important.
It is.
It's something we all crave.
We do.
That feeling of belonging.
And maybe it's a reminder that we can all be great. even if we don't have that lightning bolt scar.
Right, even if we're not the chosen one.
Exactly. It's all about finding the courage to face our fears.
Yeah.
And stand up for what we believe in.
Stand up for what's right.
That's so powerful.
It is.
And it's something that I think resonates with people of all ages.
Absolutely. Even as adults, we need those reminders sometimes.
Oh, for sure.
That we have the power to make choices.
Yeah.
To shape our own destinies.
But we're not just along for the ride.
Right. We're the authors of our own stories.
I love that. And that even small acts of courage can make a difference.
Yeah, like think about Neville. Standing up to his friends, even though he was terrified.
I know, that was a big moment.
It was. It shows us that bravery isn't about being fearless.
Right.
It's about doing what's right, even when it's hard.
I think that's one of the things that makes Harry Potter so powerful. It's not just about magic and adventure.
Right.
It's about the human spirit,
It's about our capacity for love and courage and compassion.
It's a story that stays with you even after you've finished reading it.
It sticks with you.
It does. It really does. And it continues to inspire.
And challenge us. Yeah, to be better people.
To be better people. And so as we wrap up this deep dive, I encourage you to hold on to that feeling.
That spark.
That spark of magic that Harry Potter gives us.
Yeah, that sense of wonder.
That sense of wonder, keep it alive.
And here's a final thought to leave you with.
Ooh, a final thought.
As you continue your journey through the wizarding world, why do you think stories like Harry Potter continue to capture our imaginations?
Yeah.
Why do they stay with us long after we've closed the book?
That's a good question.
What is it about these stories that speaks to people across cultures and generations?
What is it?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's something to think about.
Well, on that note,
I
think that's going to wrap up our deep dive for today.
Into the wonderful world of Harry Potter.
Into Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah.
So until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning.
And remember,
the
magic is out there.
It's out there.
Just waiting to be discovered.
See you next time.